charcoal liquid's good. Okay. I gotta make some more. Throw you in the tub. Anytime I take a bath, shower, you wanna jump up in there. It's nice out. You can take outside. It's hot in there. Crack me up everything. Oh, I love that shit. Okay, go ahead and read this week. That's been a minute. I'm waiting for them to come in. No notifications, because YouTube playing that. Stop playing now. Grab my foot, bro. Give me that belly. Give me that big belly. Give me that big old belly. What? Give me that big old belly. That's why you ain't. That's why I had to cut the treat back in half. Let's see what we got here. You know what I'm saying? Somebody posted on it. You look like you belong on the porch, Mr. Branch. Mr. Red, no, Mr. Branch or Mr. Red? Mr. Red, no, lady in the other lady, the Navajo. Stop, leave that alone. You look like you belong on the porch. It's so hot outside with a glass of lemonade with a gold straw. Yes, ma'am. She had me cracking up. So, you know something here? Oh. I'm going to go back because they didn't put everything out. They put in the stuff that came in last night at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. That was in the mailbox. I have a whole bunch of stuff, y'all, mind you. And I stopped getting these, but they keep sending them. So I'm going to call them and be like, oh, well, it's good to have a little extra. Maybe I'll wait for one more to come in. That's the K2 and vitamin D plant-based sterile topicals or whatever it's called. But natural medicament, if any of y'all ever utilize that, I'm not big on a lot of supplements, but some things during certain periods, I'll just boost up because nothing wrong with a little more as long as you're flushing your system. But this is by Bobby J. Price. I ordered this like over a month ago. So yeah, carry me on the book. It didn't get here. He said it should be here tomorrow, today, or we don't get mail on Saturdays like most places. It might have come in, but they used to be open. But they don't do that no more. I don't know why. But it's education and medication. Myth, Lies, and Truths About Modern Foods and Medicines. I just wanted to have it as a material to read. And everybody that I've discussed, they've got some of the other ones, and I didn't hear them say this one. So that's why I grabbed, not to be different or indifferent. I just grabbed something else because I wanted to see, because he went to school to become a doctor, just like our brother Jah Brickz did. You know? People ask me why I didn't. I said, I don't need their recommendation. They've already killed up most of the natural stuff, but there's still stuff out there. You just got to know where to be or where to go. We were the greatest farmers on this land. Like, you can't make that up. There's this dude, right? Obviously, he's an Ashkenazi, a fake-ass Jew, a worthless piece of excrement, that put out this history about the Fighting 18. Because if you know history like I know, and you follow certain individuals, what did I? Oh, okay. If you follow certain individuals like I do, somebody tried to debunk that by saying, oh, there was all these African slaves and they didn't get to fight in the Civil War until 1865. Nigga, that's near the end. Talking about the Pale-Skins down south were desperate. Bullshit. History already shows that all the individuals they're painting pale skin white were melanated people. Dead ass. All of them. You can't say swarthy and apply it to a pale skin. You can't say anything other, and all of them were described as swarthy, this, that, dark continents, this, that, and the other. You can't, see, this is what we're talking about, the Orwellian effect, George Orwell, Orwellian effect. The fact that there are enough individuals who told the truth, and there's enough of us who were taught, fortunately, by certain individuals, the truth, who will go, they were like, that's a lie. Like, when you got somebody 100-something years old telling you that's a lie, and their conscience is solid. I mean, they getting around and moving like, you know, if you 30, 40 years, you know, like you 20, 30 years old, and you're like, everything's different. So this dude, can I pull him up? I mean, I'm gonna have to wait for the load. So I'll get the reading first. I should have pulled him up already, but I just turned this on, guys. So, because I turned it off to charge, it gets a full charge when I let it go dead. If you get where I'm coming from. Okay. Let me see if okay, it was loaded. Awesome. Let me see if I can pull it up. And let's see if I can pull this idiot's name up. The Myth of Black Confederates and the Rise of Fake Racial Tolerance by Benjamin Alpers. Benjamin Alpers. Hold on. I would love to meet him and tell him, yeah, how about that surname that fake everything that you got, motherfucker? Talking about the University of Oklahoma. So you know that, close, man. Shut the fuck up. I want to make sure it's the right one, okay? Because they got his face down here. Alpers, Associate Professor of American Intellectual and Cultural History at the Honors College, University of Oklahoma. See this right here? This is a fucking Ashkenazi fake-ass Jew. And what is his true background? I don't know. But he's Ashkenazi. All right? These motherfuckers write the worst in history, nothing but lies, and the only one of them that came here in the first place would be considered the Pilgrims. But we're more aware that those were more or less mulattoes, who would seem more like Arabic, who were Ashkenaz. Okay? So monkeys like this cannot tell our history because they're gonna fucking lie. So when you want to talk about these gentlemen right here, okay? Hold on. Let me pull it up. I've shared enough pictures over time. I just want to pull this up. Okay? When I saw what he had to say like this, because we had a pale skin wanting to debunk the first Louisiana Native Guard of 1861. Does that look like somebody joined in 1865? This is the Native Guard. Niggas, Native Guard, and a couple of them pale skins were considered Negro and black. So when you get these frowning motherfuckers on our soil who really need to think about getting off, they're gonna get off anyway. The ones who matter, because you know they're about to rain hell down on a whole lot of you knuckleheads who don't know no better. But yeah, and there's pictures older than that. I told you my great uncles fought in that shit, and it wasn't by the Hollywood Ashkenazi narrative, some civil fucking war. It was the total complete collapse of the last Tartarian Empire. That's why I shared with you the blue flag with the white star. But you also know there's another country trying to run that shit, and that is not their flag. That's another one of the frauds that was created by Europe going into that country, and now they have this symbol that belongs only to fuck here for the Republic of Tartaria. Even the yellow flag with the dragon in it, the serpent people, Prester John, and so on, and the Khans, Nagas, Negul, whatever. Listen to me, man. Either you're gonna get it together and realize it, because they have never had your best intention. Look at Charles Schwab, a fucking Jew, right? But his father was a Nazi. Are you paying attention now? Somebody said, well, what can you correlate the stuff what you said about the moon and all that? I says, you ever seen this retarded ass movie with John Travolta and Mr. Whitaker called Battlefield Earth? I said, well, take another good look at it. If you haven't watched or read 1984 by George Orwell, The Orwellian Factor, or looked at a number of other books, all they do is keep telling you what they're going to do. It's like a big fucking game. And until you know how to dream walk, like real, and find your comfort place, to know what the truth of DMT and a few other things is, they're going to keep, because these monkeys here don't know no better. Well, they actually have a choice, but they're sick. You live in a time and a space of beauty compiled with disaster. All right, let me get to reading. That's enough of that. Excuse me, this is ginger, lime, and very charcoal. I didn't run it, I ran it through kind of quick, kind of like push through with the machine instead of letting it drip, drip, drip. So it wouldn't be, but it's charcoaly. The water, it was only a little bit. I just wanted to make this real quick. So he likes the charcoal water. Oh, that's so good. All right, let's get to read on it. Slow pause background music. All right, so this is 100 Years of Lynching by Ralph Ginsberg. That's another one. I had to push the separation division. Never talk about no pale skins, even though in one part you saw I said they even lynched a couple of white pale skins, whatever, right? So Chicago Record Herald, right? Chicago Record Herald newspaper, June 29, 1903. Whites are called demons. Listen to this. Now, remember I was expressing about the church and the fact that Rockefeller, Margaret Sanger, all of them were behind the fake ass nigger churches. Serious. The Vatican, all those fucktards were behind these fake ass churches. And why? Let's go right into it. Now this is 1903. Remember I expressed when they actually created the term Africa? Who remembers that? What it alludes to? Oh, it's some made up shit. That is not what that continent was called. And just to see people running around calling themselves that now, it's like, if they only knew what they were doing. Anyway, Wilmington, Delaware, June 28th. June 28th, 38th. They exist. June 28th. The lynching of the Negro George F. White was the chief topic in two churches here today. In the Negro church, some violent sentiments were expressed by a Negro pastor. And in a white church, the utterances of a week ago by the white pastor were endorsed by the congregation. In the first African Methodist Episcopal Church, the Reverend Montrose W. Thornton said, "The white man, in face of his boasted civilization, stands before my eyes tonight, the demon of the world's races, a monster incarnate, and in so far as the Negro race is concerned, seems to give no quarter. The white is a heathen, a fiend, a monstrosity before God, and is equal to any act in the calendar of crime. I would sooner trust myself in a den of hyena as in his arms. With a court, law, and officers of law in his hands, the despised Negro can expect no mercy, justice, nor he's creating what you call hopelessness, nor protection. The Negro is unsafe anywhere in this country. He is the open prey at all times of barbarians who know no restraint and will not be restrained. Now, the enemy already knew what we were capable of, but they needed these dumb Negroes to keep them pacified, scared, and like worried about something they had nothing to fucking worried about. Oh, we wouldn't have had the deacons, armed deacons in 1960s, 50 whip motherfuckers' ass, or the people in Oklahoma fight back and quill all that bullshit about a bunch of foreigners coming up on the West Coast, and even by way of the trains from the East. And from the damn South, so called it, if you want to believe in that. There is but one part left to the persecuted Negro when charged with crime and when innocent. Be a law unto yourself. You are taught by this lesson of outrage to save yourself from torture at the hands of the blood-seeking public. Save your race from insult and shame. Be your own sheriff, court, and jury. As was the outlaw Tracy, die in your tracks, perhaps drinking the blood of your pursuers. Yeah, Booker T. Washington, goddammit. Charity. Humanity, advice of forgiveness, love, industry, and so on will never be reciprocated by white men. All right? Yeah, Booker T. Washington. Fuck. Yeah. No, he didn't say that. Shit. The Reverend Robert A. Elwood, the Presbyterian minister, who has come in for much criticism for his sermon of last Sunday night, in which he suggested lynching in case the Negro escaped speedy punishment at the hands of the law, did not refer to the lynching or the criticisms today. These criticisms were answered by his congregation today when resolutions were read during the services expressing firm belief in the pastor's honesty, integrity, and Christian character. Thousands of persons visited today the scene where White was burned. They came from all the small towns in his vicinity, and hundreds journeyed from Chester, Pennsylvania, and Philadelphia. The burning took place in a freshly plowed field, about 50 feet from the roadway, which was hidden by high bushes. The field has been tramped upon almost as smooth and hard as asphalt, and by the thousands of persons that have visited the farm. Now, the only evidence that remains of the work of the mob are 3 cobblestones, on one of which this inscription has been placed is indelible ink. Excuse me, guys. Here is all that remains of White. That is all it said. Here is all that remains of White. The bushes behind which the murder was committed have been cut down for a distance of several yards and carried away by relic hunters. Many of those who visited the scene today, among them a large number of young men, carried away a sprig of a branch of the bushes. And you got to remember at the time of Marcus Garvey and all them motherfuckers and the fake UN, which it was called, the League or whatever the fuck, they were pushing to oust people and send them to Africa. And around this time, people were being sent over there. Late 1800s to early and mid 1900s. And I keep telling people, if you don't read, you'll never know the truth. And then when I tell them how Marcus Garvey died young in Europe, he fell. He wasn't going to get no reward. Well, he didn't fail. He got a lot of people to leave because they just don't want to fight no more. All right, the people here. The majority of them went down to the Caribbean still and South America. And then Haile Selassie, these dumb niggas in Jamaica still worshiping this motherfucker, as stupid as they are, who came over as a punk, escaping Italy, Ethiopia fought back and beat Italy with the help of other places and stuff, and even some fighters from here. The thing is, this punk was over here doing the OSS, that's on OSS, and the fake ass UN doing their job to get more of us to leave. These fake ass Ashkenazi bastards. Europe, by way of the Vatican in Europe. And how'd he die? He died penniless, homeless, broke up in that motherfucker at 80-something years old. Y'all better pay attention and listen while these dumb motherfuckers keep coming around with their fake history and stuff. You know, I'd rather them be all upset and fuck that. Be upset. Like I give a fuck. The whole world been done wrong, but you know, they keep pushing this stuff. Excuse my language, but it is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. Nobody wants to hear that nonsense no more. All them little homosexual, crackhead, pedophiles, and that Pan-African movement. All of them. Sickness, disease. And I guess that's what the feds feel like. We'll put them to the task and pay them. As long as nobody really pays attention to them, but keep holding on, because they know in the liberal states, them Negroes is not all of you, but a lot of them are dumb. Believe me, I've lived there. All right, grew up there. I've seen how dumb niggas is in them damn cities and shit. And how the same fake ass Jews and everybody else do them on renting everything else, the living standards and all the apartments, and then got foreigners coming to do the same thing. And the niggas run around if they get a bag, and it's all about everything synthetic and makeup and all the other garbage. And nobody says nothing. They're not a great number, though they ignorant. But if you know how to say it, say it. Say it where it can appease them. Because there's a lot to know back home. But they still sit there and occupy that negative energy. They just won't change. Let's go ahead and get into Jews and Muslims in British colonial America, the genealogical history by Elizabeth Caldwell Hirschman and Donald N. Yates. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is located in the Caribbean Sea, not far from Cuba, Jamaica, and Hispaniola. I believe we read that part. But anyway, we're going to take it from there. Now, remember I said I can't stand that Hispaniola bullshit? The island was settled by indigenous peoples of the archaic culture of the West Indies. So why is there no Mongols there? Anyway, anyway, in the 1st century CE or earlier, around 120 CE, that's that's not that far ago, long ago, or that far. A second group of natives representing the Arawak culture reached the island. Now we know the Arawak were Negroes, all right, perhaps from South America. So what's all this Africans in South America shit when it's mostly, we're reading right now the information alluding to who the motherfuckers of African origin and European origin truly are. It's the ones running around that you see, putting all the gang signs and tattoos on their fucking face of Ashkenaz and of Moorish bloodline. Trying to tell you who the fuck you is. While they run around killing each other up. But you have some people here, all right, from a certain place in so-called South America that ain't nothing but shock troops of the Vatican. The lying motherfuckers. And they run around in the streets in New York, Philly, and y'all ain't doing shit because a lot of y'all too punctified. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway. Natives were forced into servitude or hunted down and killed. Sound like Negroes to me. Resulting in a devastating collapse of the local population and culture. As in other colonies, it was the native men and their male lineage that bore the brunt of this. Listen to this, bore the brunt of this. Remember we read this yesterday? Now, DNA samples collected on the island clearly show that Taino ancestry survives through the female line, whereas male lines go the way of the Canaries and other conquered lands. Puerto Rico was a favorite place for the Spanish to send native slaves captured in the Carolinas. When I was telling a lot of my friends in Puerto Rico that a lot of y'all motherfuckers are probably my kinfolk, they was laughing. I was like, yeah, not all of them. And they were like, what? I even told my ex-wife, I said, you could be related to my family because you remind me of some of my cousins. Oh, I was born abroad. My family from Puerto Rico. They was Vietnam. That's why I was like, shut the fuck. I don't sit there talking to people who don't know how to listen. All emotional, like certain words going to kill them. They want to dish it out, but they can't take it when they come back, motherfucker. Anyway, right? Rico was a favorite place for the Spanish to send native slaves captured in the Carolinas. Many of these Indians escaped into the hills, and their descendants remain there today. So where's the fucking Mongolians? Hey, Mongols! That's a fake name too for you, but Mongols. When I keep telling you, learn your true history of the Great Tartaria and how we represented one another afar. You motherfuckers want to hold on to this land to which you are owed nothing from this motherfucker. But you're getting rid of a lot of pain and heartache because you stay fucking. Don't worry about what the fuck they're gonna do. You stay stubbornly ignorant. I tell these motherfuckers out here all the goddamn time. A lot of them listening now. A bunch of badasses walking around. Do what the fuck I do. Get your ass whopped because you really can't fight. Many of these Indians escaped into the hills and their descendants remain there today. The Puerto Rican indigenous haplotype pattern is especially diverse. Of course it is. Now, I'm not saying this because we shouldn't be all coming together. We should. There's a common enemy we all have. The problem is they made everybody look like enemies, and they use the prison system. They taking our music, and everybody, you got a bunch of peckerwoods running around thinking country's their shit. The fuck out of here. Rock and roll, Fuck out of here. I told y'all to look up the grandfather of rock and roll, and y'all always run to that sister. She played a major role with that motherfucking guitar, but it's a weird ass name with a Q in it. Look it up. I don't give everything. I need people to research shit. When you find out, then share that information. That's how we keep the knowledge of wealth growing. Okay? Now, owing to its central location, and here's where we pick up at. Puerto Rico was subjected to repeated depredations by French, English, and Portuguese privateers. A fort was built by the Spanish settlers from 1530 to 1540 to defend the island. No, it wasn't. It was a fort already fucking there. Spanish officials on the island during the late 1500s included the following: Menendez de Valdez, Pedro Soares, Pedro Tello de Guzman, Pardo de Osorio, Antonio Calderon. Remember I told you about my father-in-law? Antonio Mosquero, and Juan de Harbo. The surnames further suggests that the island was a Sephardic and Moorish community. Mosquero, for example, is clearly Islamic. Yes, that's right. Mosquero, mosque, as a mosque. For example, it is clearly Islamic. Settlers on Puerto Rico were mainly drawn from Castile, with some Italians, Portuguese, and Flemish. Were some of these friends or relatives of Spanish Jews? By the late 1500s, Canary Islanders and additional Portuguese settlers had arrived. In 1683, 200 more Canarian families came to Puerto Rico, followed by another 300 in 1691. These arrivals shifted the overall population of the island toward a Canarian profile, as several of the original Castilian families had moved to colonies in the mainland of the Americas or died from epidemics that periodically swept the island. Now, Puerto Rico DNA is enlightening in that it includes 16 instances of male African descent. But again, the most common haplogroup is R1b. That's why I keep telling a lot of those dark brothers over there, I say, some of you might be of European stock, but some of you are really of America. And some of them actually said, oh, we know it. I used to frequent Puerto Rico all the time. That's my way for a long time, you know what I'm saying? There are those who knew it back then. I don't know what's going on now. And I know someone who lived in New York, you know, and they be like, oh, nigga, some of these motherfuckers ain't our people. What? Man, that nigga ain't Puerto Rican. That motherfucker's from Spain or some shit. That nigga, he might have grew up with, that nigga ain't one of us, man. And he said, man, listen to that nigga's last name. What the fuck does that mean? I never really paid attention. I grew up around that shit, y'all. Even in Montclair. Puerto Ricans there were fucking Jews. Ashkenazis. So R1b, people. Anyway, evidence in one half of the population. Next come I1, J, and E3b. The relatively, we went over those yesterday. High-level Semitic North African lineages, coupled with R1b, and they always try to tell you, you fucking African. The problem is you're not, and they are. Do you see the perversion? R1b and I suggest, you can see, yeah, that's all this I. Suggests Puerto Rico was made up primarily of Sephardic and Moorish populations. In other words, earlier and later converts to Judaism or Islam. The surnames in the Puerto Rico sample are strongly suggestive of converso Morisco backgrounds. Bautista, Benitez, Bernal, Betancourt, Borges, Borges, Joe Cristio, Candelario, Carrero, Casillas, Castellano. Come on, Castello, Colon, Cordova, obviously. I've been to Cordova, Spain. Correa, Cruz, de Garcia, de Jesus, Jesus, de la Reyes, Diaz, Espinosa, Fabus, Fabus, that could be more Grecian as far as in the narrative of change history or Arabic. Okay, Ferreira, my cousin Danny Ferreira. Yet, that's an adopted name. Why? Because of the man that married the woman. His mama, dark as midnight. Danny Ferreira, my cousin, looked like one of us. But his papi, his papito. All right, Flores Garcia Guzman, Jimenez. All the Puerto Ricans I knew over in Camden, Millville, Vineland, Leon Lopez, Marrero, Masonet. These are people I know by those surnames. All right, when you think about the French, when you think about Latin quarters, or when you get in Louisiana and stuff like that. Okay, Medina. This is coming off the top of my head, people. Okay, but when you think about Medina, how many? I know like 5 people served with 2 Medina. You know what I'm saying? Which is Arabic, and they would tell you. And I would always say, like, there's a lot of people down in so-called South America. Y'all keep calling them Mexican. They're not fucking. They're fucking Mexican. They're Arabic. Mendez, Miranda, Munez, Navarro, Neves, Oliveira, Omeda, Ortega, Padilla, Pardo. Now, come on, don't say that about Padilla. Perez, Rosie Perez, Reyes, Robes, Romero. You got to remember, a lot of them been killed. So you have the women who still hold the lineage. So some of these people, regardless of the surname, still kind of like family, y'all. We have to look past certain things. But we're pointing out what I was saying to you about the 6th century and how the Ashkenazis kept, and then they would take the women, make these new babies, and you see these motherfuckers with long, weak-ass hair, kind of opaque and brown and shit like that, and these motherfuckers running with this new ideology, like, the fuck? And that's why I always say a remnant of who you are when I'm talking to all these different people. Anyway, excuse me, let me finish the names here. Reyes, friend of mine, a good Marine buddy, college. He took care of me when I went in, and the second time I went to college, indoctrination and all that. Robes, Romero, Rosary, Santiago, Santos, Vega, Yanez, and Zayas. And then there's a whole list here. And even though it says the tree DNA, it doesn't have it in here, but we know that you do have some. When I was looking at some of these people are O positive. When you like me, I use Ancestry. And so I see some names, I'm gonna type it in, and it pulls. And I want to see the what do you call it? Like the farm shit. Where they do the bodies and all. Anyway, there's a catalog. Snoo, you might know, has all blood types going back over the last like 4 decades, 40 years of like Spanish families, and you can look at the names and it has the blood type next to them. It's like, oh, a lot of these motherfuckers are RH, blah blah, and then O positive. Oh shit, you got a couple old fucking negatives. But no picture. It's just the thing up there, and it's like, motherfucker had to be dark as midnight. But anyway, excuse my language. Let's go. Let's carry it over. Let's carry over here to Mexico, because like I said, I got friends in Mexico. I don't give a damn what they are, but and they're the ones who enlightened me to. We got some Arabs, we got some ones who are like Ashkenaz, and then we have some of us, and these ones don't even look like. They don't. They look different. They look really different. You would think that, they have like the broad nose, the forehead like us. They have the shovel teeth. The ears ain't all big and shit. No, the ears are like small like ours. A little broader shoulder, and they're well built. Thin legs. And I'll be looking at something like, nigga, what's your last name, man? Says, yeah, our people came through Texas, and we know our great uncle was related to one of the guys who was the first president of Mexico. That was a nigga. And then they'd be like, yeah, we hear that all the time, but and you would look and be like, and so I know what they mean when they say 2 distinct people. So let's read this out here, Mexico. It is customary to speak of Mexico, whose ancient name is Anahos. That's like when people hit me up. I'm gonna respond to this right now. I don't call this fucking America. That is a place, a small city, and where they take this Amica name from in South America. Where, I don't know, Belize, I don't know where the fuck it's from, but I know it's there. We call it, some people call it Altia, me Alfeda. That's what I call this land. Now, if you want to talk about Kichimanatu and Hatanak, then we can get into that conversation too. All right? Anyway, let's go ahead. As the home of indigenous empires, and with good reason, the Aztec of Mexico, who lent their name to the modern country that emerged, were only the last of a long succession of civilizations beginning with the Olmec and continuing through the Izapa. But see, they don't talk about the Shi and Olmec wars. See, that's why I know, and there's more than enough paintings on the walls and everything to show you that people down there were dark, and some lightly shaded, but not opaque, because you can see what they did when the Mongols first were sent in there. And we're talking about like in the motherfucking 16th century, they wasn't playing with them, they was sliding them, cutting their hearts out and everything. And they forgot what was to befall them because they forgot they couldn't read the calendar. They didn't make it. Well, they didn't remember. One, I forget how the story goes. I'm going to dig back in one of my old books and see how that story goes. Anyway, who lent their name to the modern country that emerged were only the last of a long succession of civilizations, beginning with the Olmec and continuing through the Izapa. Now, Teotihuacan, y'all know Teotihuacan. Anyway, Maya, Zapotec, Chichimeca, I want to say something else, but Toltec, Mixtec, never heard of that, Hoxtec, and Puapicha, I guess. All of these peoples lived a settled existence in urban centers. Now, the conquistadors Hernan Cortez and his small force of Spaniards arrived in 1521. Bullshit. Anyway, due to plagues and epidemics as well as warfare, the native population of the Valley of Mexico was reduced from 8 million to less than half that number in a few short years. Now, during the 300-year colonial period that followed, there emerged a distinctive new mestizo mixed class of people born of Spanish fathers and Mexican mothers. Born of niggas. Their mamas. And thousands of African slaves were imported to work in the mines. Bullshit. Niggas from North and the islands. Nobody coming from over there. Brazil, all them niggas imported to work that motherfucker. People of the fucking land. Okay? Anyway, let's get back to it. Were imported to work in the mines, ranches, and encomiendas. Now, thousands of African slaves were imported to work in the mines, ranches, and encomiendas, with Mexico City as its capital. And this extremely diversified land called New Spain stretched from the Rio Arriba and Rio Abajo of present-day New Mexico to Costa Rica and included all the Spanish Caribbean islands and Florida as well. I told you. Because you have a lot of... Look, man, these motherfuckers ain't going to never tell the truth about history. So just know this. And they have it. Why would anybody listen to them? Anywho, Spanish Caribbean islands and Florida as well. Spain's South American possessions were called New Granada. And they fell... How many of y'all... Oh, hold on. They fall outside our scope. How many of y'all been to Panama? Granada. You think all them Negroes are... You think those... Man, if you... No, they don't even tell the story about Panama, how they fought back like a motherfucker. Just like the Haitians, just like many tribes, the Chickasaw, a lot of people over here. You know what I'm saying? What message was held in review? Oh, I know that's right, brother. Anyway. Okay, let's keep going on here. Now, in 1571, King Philip II instituted an Inquisition tribunal for all of New Spain, seated in Mexico City. Its purpose was to free the land, which has become contaminated by Jews and heretics, the Ashkenazis, especially the Portuguese nations. All these bastards. And they're still doing this shit today. Okay? And they need to get the fuck up off our land. You need to know who your fights with, people. Its purpose was to free the land, okay? Yeah. So anyway, Jews and heretics, especially the Portuguese nation. Eloquent testimony that Mexico and the surrounding countries were havens for crypto-Jews. Now, the Mexican genealogy and DNA project with a large sample size yields results that mirror the haplogroup profile seen in other studies we have glanced at. Once again, R1b Atlantic close Europeans was predominant, 56%, followed by 1 at 12%. 1 is the R1 or A1 or something like that. 12%. E3b North African at 12%. J2 Mediterranean at 9%, J1 Semitic at 1.5%, haplogroup G Central Asian, often also Jewish, was present in Mexico at 5%. Also reported in small frequencies were T, believed to come from Phoenicians, R1A1 East Europeans common among Ashkenazi Jews, and O East Asian. Now you know what the original East is, right? You know who the true Asiatic man is, right? And you know where the big populace of O is. It's not in Africa. It's not in Europe. It's not in Ethiopia. It's not nowhere else. And the majority is right the fuck here and in us. How about Harriet, the sister they chopped the fuck up? They actually killed her. They didn't fucking sit there and let her die because of ovarian cancer if she could fight it off. Make it make sense. These motherfuckers lie so much. And now they keep deconstructing and use it as a weapon against us. All the Mexican study participants carry Hispanic surnames. Most of these are Sephardic, and we have seen them in the other studies discussed so far. Acosta, Herrera, Arreola, Asensio, Campos, Covenantes, Chacon, Correa, Diaz, and so on. We already went through all the damn names. And there's plenty more. And down in these surnames, we'll read this later. I'll go through the surnames as far as Mexico, as far as with the, whether it's J2 or R1B or whatever, okay? E3, and we'll go through all that, okay? There's even Q and shit like that. As far as the haplogroups. And it's a long, long list. It's a runner, okay? And then we'll get into even the New Mexico surnames, right over here by me, okay? I know, like I said, I have many people I know who I love, because they're good fucking people. They didn't do it to themselves, but there's some running around and their bloodline's cursed, and they don't even know why they're running around doing what they do. They think they're successful. They're being used by the system, and if they would only fucking stop. When people talk about, yeah, we got Mexicans, they hate America. How the fuck is that? What in America they hate? Because they've been stooped to fucking fine. They've been using too many goddamn drugs. That ain't our fucking problem. It ain't my problem. I ain't got a problem. I got too many homies like that. You know, whether they dark Mexican, Afro Mexican, or they, if they want to call themselves a mestizo. Mestizos I get down with pretty much. Like I said, East Asia, this is the fucking East. It's not the West. All right, people, I'm tired of that. Because when I was overseas, I seen enough books that pointed over here in France and everywhere else, this was the fucking East. Asia superior. That's right, Asia fucking superior. And what these fake ass fucking fraudulent Jews do. Fuck with the Semites, steal identity. That's what they taught the Palestinians, how to steal all our shit. And now dumbasses, because of these fake ass, worthless ass churches, that's why so many of them closing down. Niggas is waking up going, man, fuck these monkey ass niggas. And rightfully so. Let's see if they take them to the islands or underground with them for betraying the fucking people. Jesse Jackson don't give a fuck. He think he's going to be sent to some other land and he going to live another 200 years. But fuck that monkey. He get his too in the end. I'm just saying, it's the world we live in. This realm right here, it's a little different. It can go off script and it can go full squilling. I'm just saying, it is what it is. And we're going to read this one. The last resets in the known lands. No, I'm going to say this one for a little shortly, man. I'm going to take a little breather, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want me to read that one right now? Y'all want me to read it right now? Terra Infinita, Extraterrestrial Worlds and Their Civilizations, a story told by the woman who was born on the other side of the motherfucking ice walls. Chapter 25, the last resets in the known lands. Nah, wait. I started off with that. What do you think? Huh? What do y'all think? Oh, damn it. Throwing up one. Oh, I got one. Any more ones you want me to read it? If you want me to read it, I'll read it. Okay, Scott, roger that. Oh, I got you. So I'm just going to have to do it. 3 is the magic number. 3 is the magic number. Who remembers that shit? If you were 80s, baby, you should remember that. 3 is the magic number. Oh, shit, we got 5 and 6. Okay, roger that. Oh, Charles, you got your... God damn, bro, you just hit me. Can you put like 7 zeros behind that? Okay, let's go ahead and get it in. Here you go. And here's our brother right here, Claudio, okay? All right, let's get it. Now, this is... Y'all remember yesterday's. It was pretty good. It was pretty good reading right there. Now, this one right here, again, is chapter 25, the last resets. Resets, not plural. Resets in the known lands. Check it out. The previous reset has been the cruelest of all because they were close to losing control. It could not have been otherwise. It is even said that there were periods where humans and giants were controlling the situation. But once the 4 great sinners fell, the millions of death left by the war, it was difficult to recover. We all knew at one point that we had been defeated. And my mother has told me so many times this story, which in turn was told by her mother. I already repeated by heart. She was only a newborn. Do you understand? They lived in a prosperous world and suddenly all their dreams were trampled. Many found loved ones who had died next door, and their houses on fire or had disappeared. Sound familiar, people? They used technology that you would not understand. They could even petrify beings. They had already done it in the past. They had to see themselves in a really desperate situation. When all was lost, the Great Flood began, as it is known here, the Mud Flood. In reality, this happened in different forms, but it dragged everything in its path. It was something of colossal dimensions. Many of the humans that grew up after the last reset used vestiges of these monuments or buildings. Even some had withstood the war and the flood quite well. They were resistant to ancestral technology. They were prepared for everything. I want y'all to remember that, because I've been saying that for a very long time, that a lot of these buildings withstood it. And a lot of buildings are like 15 stories beneath the fucking ground. But you will never know it, because who came right in and took over it? And somebody had to put them to the test. Because there are real pictures showing you things in World War of the Revolutionary War that you just you won't see unless you think it's a Hollywood sci-fi movie. But what they keep playing it down. These hats are badass hats. You think that them big helmet things, because of headshots, which don't even stop a headshot, is the shit? No, man. Motherfuckers, they have to wear that shit. Niggas was strong. You know, we was like, pop it off, let the sun hit your head, made of wool or cotton. No lowering the energy, allowing your energy to, you dig what I'm saying? Okay. They were prepared for everything. That is why you will notice that many images of the past do not match the reality that people lived in. The difference in technology and architecture, they mix the history in such a way that it is difficult for you to understand it completely. But at least you will have an idea of how the whole process was taking place. The resets, with some differences that existed, at least the ones I know of, are almost always carried out in the same way. They put a limit of years for the race they are controlling to develop and reach a point of knowledge and technology. They will always try to manipulate reality to reach that point as slow as possible. They take it really as a game. Basically, they will try to pause your spiritual growth and the truth about your origin and your world environment where you are. Clearly, they will never make themselves known, nor will you have any kind of contact with them, but you will be able to find them in history in several possible ways and forms. When a reset takes place, let's call it natural, considering that the previously established limit of years was reached. They will make everyone over 7 months of age die. This can also be decided in advance, or it will simply be thought of at that moment in meeting of the parasitic dome. So all the CIA, FBI, most of those agencies, most of them now, you want to know who the custodians are? Them. All their puppets. When you think about the vampire movies with Blade, you have the what they call the familiars. They have marks, tattoos, or emblems. The custodians look like us too. Remember this shit. Okay? Sniffing little boys to fear and babies and eating them and all kind of shit. But they always hide it because they're the ones in the so-called control. When a reset takes place, it's called let's call it natural, considering that previously established limit of years were reached. They will make everyone over 7, I'm going to read it again, 7 months of age die. This can also be decided in advance, or it will simply be thought of at that moment in meetings of the parasitic dome. Now, the flood that my parents, grandparents, and all that generation suffered was the same that would have happened in case we had, listen to this, reached the limit of years of development. Only that they initiated this in an urgent way because of the war that had been unleashed. The last reset in these lands did not reach the time limit that they had established for our development. But we were not far away either. If we consider that when the giants visited and joined us in these lands, they started to educate us about the lands and the life behind this world environment. We started to learn too many things that they considered dangerous. Not to make this answer so long, your babies of 7 months or less, then that will be left alive. Not all. They will decide depending on many factors. Those above that age will be killed or die in catastrophes of different kinds. This world environment is justly manipulated in its entirety by them, Imagine you live inside a greenhouse. You can understand it that way. You can make it bloom or poison it from one day to the next, or even slowly. So I hope that was good enough for you. So the moment they started, about 4 to 5 decades ago, when they started changing and modifying the food, that was them leading up to a certain point. Why do you think Henry Kissinger stayed in there up to the fake demic? And then the year after stepped down. And then the Vatican and the so-called castle closed down, and nobody's paying attention. They want you to believe that they're having these meetings at the fucking so-called White House. Franklin, the Benjamin Franklin. How many Peckerwoods you know with that name? Nigger name. And yet they just run with the word fake history as if they're great because they want to believe that lie. I'm not here to root and speak hate. I'm here to smack you in the head with a little truth. Some people said that, why don't you not speak the truth? Why? Because they're speeding shit up. And a lot of you motherfuckers are hard-headed. I've been reaching out. You motherfuckers just haven't listened. I was attempting to bring some balance, but y'all are really, I guess, their best work subject. I mean, do I need to be meaner and say worse things? I mean, we got motherfuckers reacting unless if they really can handle. They don't even know the first thing about me because they ain't pay attention. You know, you mop the floor up with them. Then what? Then they look broken up, right? They're in the hospital, casted up, traction, and they're like, "What the hell happened? How did I gave you fair warning." You know what I'm saying? And you wanted to breach that, thinking you was really all that, but you didn't fucking listen. So it's up to y'all what you gonna do. You know? Does it even fucking matter? I don't know. And I really did meet somebody whose eyes closed this way. And I met a few more like that. Not an enemy. Not at all. Everybody thinks that they're supposed to see everything. Why would everything be revealed to people who are doubting of themselves, doubting of everything, and still holding on to everything given to them? That is not fucking free. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Abraham Lincoln was a nigger. That's it. Old Abe, swarthy. His father explained him. His best friend told you who he was. He saw this big dark figure walk up beside him until he realized, oh, that's my old brother Abe. Everybody is, and they had a movie, they did TV shows, Bing Crosby. Go back and look at all this stuff. Pull it up. Bing Crosby doing blackface Abe. The history's out there. Everybody knew it. My uncle said they knew Abe personally. He was a nigga. I mean, there's no elaboration. This is straight up. This is what he was. He was a nigga. Snoo. Oh, Alicia and Cooper. What's up? Hey, Ronald. What's up, beloved? Richard Lone Wolf. Hey, what's going on, my we gotta get him here, y'all. All right. Indigo Turtle. What's going on? Peace, beloved. What's happening? Charles Johnson. Educate them damn children. We gonna do that. We educate the big children first, right? You already know, beloved. Mr. C, peace. What's going on to the God? Big Pontiac. I was just in the other video, man. You was on, but I think you had just ended it, so I didn't comment. I just, I had to motherfucking watch half of it, and I was like, I need to go live and get this read in. What's going on? Salute to you, brother. What's going on, beloved? Try to classify us when come here, no matter what skin shade. Exactly. I'm white and Indian. How many times I got to say that? That's not a privilege to say some goofy shit like that. It's a status, motherfuckers. And I know people don't want to believe that shit. And also got Negro. No black, no Afro, none of that shit. They don't even fucking exist. And I'm well aware and know better. And that's motherfuckers they need to go. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to take care of it this time. Anyway, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Spaniards, Moors, anyone with European DNA, white, well, pretty much, somewhat. Not white, but yeah. There's a label line on the papers. Yes, and I've been telling people that when I was in New York, when I was selling bootleg videos and all that stuff, I wasn't dumb enough to sell them damn Chinese-made goofy-ass Nikes and stuff, but the bootlegs I was getting were perfect. I was a Russian and African dude, right? He knows I didn't like calling him African, but he's like, call me Nubian, brother. So it was respect, and he gave me good deals. So I would get like 300 movies, like 50 cents on the movie, still sold for $5. And people kept coming to me like, dog, you got it. I need like 3, and I'm like, I got you. Man, I would sit at my apartment, man, and make like $300 in 45 minutes. Like Renee Jarvis on my Facebook and Instagram, she'll tell you, the one in Antigua, who's the teacher, who helped her out in college when she was going through some issues. It is what it is, man. I've had a wealthy life of meeting great people, being able to parlay and have that conversation, you know what I'm saying, and still performing, and even traveling, doing the martial arts and the boxing gig, you know what I'm saying, because I did a lot of board breaking and all that shit, so I was going to England and going to these places, still, you know, beer at night and meeting some Mali people and shit, and I like soccer, so that was just like gimme, you know, and a lot of them thought I was from Scotland, because I had that English accent down in the first like 3 or 4 days. It just picked it back up from the time when I was in the Navy. Like, we be over there drinking, and next you know, we walking down the street, we sound just like them motherfuckers. It's that quick, man. Anyway, let me keep going. Come with the French. What's going on, blood? What's happening, bro? Bookstore. Okay. Books of Spanish surnames. Yeah, it's all out there. Cheers, a name for America. Exactly. Exactly. It is. It definitely is. Herbo, what's going on, blood? What's happening? What's cracking, brother? Scott, what's going on, brother? Hey, man, it's good shit, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, excuse me, guys. Six Boss, what's cracking? What's good? What's happening, beloved? What's happening? Oh, for sure. Yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed that reading. I mean, I was going to go into the next chapter, but we're going to do that's just a little too much. The Electric Company. You remember that? 3. It's a magic number. I used to be like, whoo, I'm just a bill, just an ordinary bill, sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, all that shit, bro. Oh, man. 369, the moose drank, the monkey drank wine. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Those songs were for us to remember. And we don't even, when our aunts and uncles, grassroots, going down to the boxing centers and shit like that, going to Muhammad Ali Boxing Camp, all those songs was part of our that. It was to make us remember shit. There was people creating these songs so it would spark something. And nobody ever really got it. Just a handful of people. It started resounding like something, and it's like a little energy thing that make you go off the beaten trail by all the sheep and go off over here like the stray motherfucking black sheep and realize, wait a minute, I like this space over here. What the fuck is over here? And we motherfucking with the flashlight looking in the dark spaces where they told us not to look. People told us where not to go, you know what I'm saying? And that's where you see, oh shit, why we don't see, you know what I'm saying? Everybody over here sucking up the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? Maui. Okay, that's not, yeah. Say, like San Francisco, New York, at least 2,000. Older than that, brother. Definitely older than that. That's like when I've been hitting people up telling them, man, when you want to sit there talking about Egypt was a period that was everywhere before Tartaria. But when Egypt fell, it was a war going on that had nothing to do with us but something to do with us. When they left, the giants came. And the giants were real, and they helped us build up this big place. It was quick, but it took a long time. That war that they had was immense. We could see it. It was immense. It was a long time, y'all. These motherfucking 2 warring factions. But they still had motherfuckers here, and we built up Tartary, but they knew they couldn't do nothing because we'd oust them and kill them, which happened a few times. Yeah, they could be killed, motherfuckers. So anyway, they returned. And a great war, a war that you fucking can't even imagine. So Atlantis was beduped. When they started to decline, that's when they came in and hit us with weapons. When I told you motherfuckers that we created the nuclear war, the weapons that were utilized before, and that's why these motherfuckers came here and put us in a situation. And brought all these foreign motherfucking monkeys, these half-bred babies who don't know shit. And even raised more on our soil using our technology. And they was digging find out how to make the weapons of our oath. Now they're in the hands of bastards. Parasitic. Cockroaches. I don't give a fuck if you want to call them the lizards, puppets, or whatever. And y'all still want to fight and act stupid and envy and all this other shit. Dudes, I always say, if you can't take it, don't be dishing it the fuck out. 3 years of fucking stand-up comedy. feel some kind of way because a man talking to you and you can't handle it, then stay in your fucking lane. It's like that. You know what I'm saying? Benjamin Banneker, Prince Hall. Yeah, Benjamin Banneker, yeah, but that's the name that's ancient too. And Prince Hall is, I don't want to get into all that shit. Like I said, I got a story to tell. I know a lot of shit about this Mason shit. And I'm tired of these perverted niggas walking around teaching this bullshit. All right, and that's what all of them, they all feel that they're fake egos and everything else. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he was a nigga, though. He was a Negro. He was melanated. My apologies. I'm using these foul-ass terms. I mean, son of the South or son of the right hand, exactly. Benjamin, yes. Naga, or Negu, Neggu. It's a number of ways, even Negah or Negga. Tawny, swarthy, olive, all Nagas. Exactly. Even brunette. That had nothing to do with no fucking hair. That had something to do with just skin color. When they talking about the first ladies of old, they were brunette and very tall and lean. The shit's in the readings. Tell them they didn't clean it all up. Somebody left it there on purpose. You know what I'm saying? And Negro too. My certified is blank, so race record recorded. There you go. And you could put whatever you want. You could say, man, I don't recognize. I'm not. That ain't my. See, like James Branch ain't my name. That's not who I. Well, let's say that's not who I am. That was utilizes identification down on this motherfucker. That is not who I am. See, these retarded motherfuckers thinking they got everybody dumb. AK, they want to rush the reset. My son loves to watch board breaking and cinder blocks. Yeah, I definitely will. Hey, we're here. What's going on? How you doing? I'd like to see a real name, but anyway. Yeah. Junction. What's your function? Hooking up. Where is that? Yeah. My favorite was Elbow Room. Now it kind of pisses me off. You crazy. Back the fuck up off me. America, the land of milk and honey. You goddamn right. We don't have time for them thin skin folk. Nope. Thick skinned Nagas. Yep. There were 8 Naga presidents before Naga George Washington. George Washington was a Naga too. Excuse me. What pale skin you know? And that story they said about George Washington even had the slaves' chief for dentures. Now that was a nigga. All history is fake. All that shit is fake. All the way up to Lincoln, and that was the first coup d'etat. And all the motherfuckers, some of them had a conscience. You see what happens when they have a conscience? When I told people that John F. Kennedy was a goddamn Irish Jew, an Ashkenaz, they say you crazy. Do the research. Okay, Red. Oh, we didn't know. That's why everybody, people don't know something. The first thing they do is they start beating on the fucking windows, going crazy instead of going research the shit. Lincoln was the last original motherfucker. That's why there was a proclamation that in order to be in the House, even the representatives, you had to have autochthonous bloodline. None of these bastards got a bloodline. These are frauds. They're fakes. That's why they're doing what they're doing. They laugh at the Constitution and everything else because they have a fucking agenda. That's how sick they are. A myriad of disease and sickness. So you look at the screen, you see Ellen DeGeneres, this lesbian bitch, right? But she was an evil, wicked bitch when she was off the screen. You look at half these motherfuckers in the media. They got wine under the table. They're drunk. Some of them on pills. But they're here to tell you to lie because they don't mind the prompts and doing the job because a lot of them are house sitters for the CIA and this, that, and other. They're relatives or probably even work with them. David, what's called Wolf, Horowitz, and all them motherfuckers. I mean, come on, people, stop. Y'all should know this. I don't know what the hell Jackie O was, baby. I don't study up on her. I don't care about her. She married another motherfucker. You know, she died how long? What, the 80s or what? I don't know, baby. I'm talking about the nigga they killed with the babushka lady. A goddamn Rockefeller taking pictures. You know, snuff so they can look at it. Yeah, you didn't want to play. You don't want to play with his cousin? See what happens, cousin? The motherfuckers killed their own son who just wanted to be out on boats flying around. Look at the one they killed in the plane. Come on, people. These motherfuckers are sick. And then we got niggas because they're fucking broken and they don't know what the fuck they want to do, but they think they want to fight. I'm that motherfucker for the fight. I am always here, always welcome. pull the fuck up, get out your car prepared, and take the fucking ass kicking you're gonna get. That's all the fuck I'm gonna say. That's all you gotta do. I'm not with all the talking when it comes to that shit. I'm really that way. There's motherfuckers on here who know me. There's motherfuckers who come and hit me up. What the fuck's going on? Don't worry about it. And it's not, everything's good. I mean, it's not always just one or two. It's like a few people. I'm like, come, stop on through. You got a big ass parking lot, nigga. If you don't mind getting scuffs and shit, because I'm not getting scuffed. Fuck. Shit. Ha! I remember I had to wrestle this motherfucker that looked like that motherfucker King Maya, whatever that motherfucker. I was like 180 pounds. This nigga was like 345 pounds. I choked that motherfucker out in less than fucking 2 minutes. But he motherfucker didn't know I was a runner, you know, like I didn't have wind. I was like, bitch, I had that motherfucker talking about, first he wanted to squeeze my leg, right? And I was just holding you back. Started putting his ass to sleep, just like that. I said, oh, fuck, I should just let you go. Because I get like that. I start seeing red and blue and shit like that. Red and black, excuse me. And he's, no, bitch, no. And anyone that come over here, I'm going to get him and start kicking. And motherfuckers knew my kicks and shit. Whether it be High Caliber Breeze, Glenfield Park, whatever the fuck. The big ass 1,000 on 5,000 breakdancing fight that we had with the battle when boy Ron and Lindsay killed a motherfucker the second time around because they didn't like losing the first time. We was sliding Fred Thompson, all his boxes, sliding niggas under the trucks and shit. Motherfuckers like, who these niggas is walking through knocking niggas out? So hey, look, that's who the fuck I am. So all this right here, that's like stick your hand in socks and put eyes on a motherfucking mouth on them. But anywho, that's not me feeling no kind of way. Of course not. I got another motherfucker I had to straighten up. Y'all told y'all about that. Had 2-piece of nigga out in front of Safeway. It's real shit. People come to me. I had a police officer say, that's not the reservation, bro. You know, I said, man, the motherfucker came out the wrong pocket. And you know, I know we teach him. And I was like, look, man, it was no disrespect, brother. Because I tell you, there's some agents over here driving around these cars. They're not of this department. I mean, I can't say no more. Oh, it's no problem. They got the job they got to do. But what I'm saying is people don't, you know, we got to either come the fuck together and stay together or, you know, grow the fuck up. I'm still gonna follow like shit. I'm not no little bitch ass nigga. I'm show the respect when the respect is due. You know, Europe named after a sister. Yes, original European nobility of Europe. Do y'all know what Europa? And her name was pronounced different, but Europa. That's what it's named, or Queen Europa. So yeah, and there's another part to it. You know what I'm saying? Double-headed eagle, Tartary, the dragon, and all that was misused. They've taken everything here and previously, and they relayed it out in a different format. They have much information. And who could do that? People who have subsided and worked alongside the custodians, if you want to look at it that way. What does a custodian mean? Clean up, keep it pristine, but not in this fashion. It's a perversion. And like I said, everything does have an end date. Everything. Anyway, let me get off of here. All right, and we'll be back in a couple of hours. Somebody brought me these because it's like the watermelon thing. I said, I'm not going to eat these shit. So the kids that I teach Tai Chi, like autistic, there's like 3 or 4 of them. That's 4. I don't consider, you know, teacher, my little sister. I consider that my little nephew. You know what I'm saying? But there's 4. And whenever he comes back over, so I might save these. Somebody because of like Cali muscle. Some of y'all really like this, all that muscle shit, huh? Anyway, this don't mean shit to me. If Cali's doing better, good. He got up the steroids, good. If you don't know if a motherfucker on steroids, I don't pay attention to my niggas on steroids, man. Somebody bought me some motherfucking Crackies cookies. Now, some people say, you can get it. These kids are autistic. It's hard. Some of them are hard. Not hard to work with because I love it, but they're hard. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, if you never taught a kid martial arts or boxing who's autistic, it can be challenging. But the thing is, you got to have that love because you know why they're that way. And so you work hard with them. So one of them bought me some Crackies cookies. I said, no. I told him, no, you don't have to do that. I'm already bought them, Mr. Branch. I was like, I ain't even opening them. I don't know. You want to see what they look like? I don't even know what the fuck they look like. I just Googled it just to see. And they had Cali. I thought the nigga wasn't eating sugar. Somebody, maybe it's an old video. I don't know. I don't follow him like that. Yo. Let's see what they look like. I mean, if it's part of the health, I got a little thing. I didn't read it over there. I mean, if it's the health cookies, and you know, I'm not big on taking protein and all that goofy shit. You know, a lot of people are big on that. What was that? Custodians, puppets, yes. Scotland, Nova Scotia, yep. I don't know where DJ's at, you know? Anyway. Oh! Damn, some big... Oh, there's all kinds up in this. Oh, these kids are going to go crazy. Look at this shit. It's like an Oreo cookie up in there. Like mini, like a cereal or something. Oh, hell no. This is right here. I'd be diabetic tomorrow, nigga. Look at these big ass chocolate. What is this? I gotta see what these are. I don't know what the fuck these are, bro. Look at this. Look at this. What is... Oh, they got some more in there. Which one is this? This is different from that one. Is this a Reese's peanut butter cup? Or Snickers? So there's 6 of them in there. I thought it was a whole fucking thing of cookies, you know, because I looked at the thing and it, you know, Kylie Muscle must be a small motherfucker because it looked like his hand was holding a big ass motherfucking cookie. But yeah, so they'll like that, man. That's just too much. That make my teeth hurt looking at it. I know what's up. Yeah, I mean, it's so sweet. Oh, you had it before? You had it? You watched, you follow Kylie Muscle? That's a lot of steroids, man. If he's doing the watermelon stuff and all, that's good. If he's cleansing the system because of the heart attack he had about a year ago or something like that, that's good. That's good. If he is, I hope he's doing the cayenne pepper for helping the repair. You know, and the dandelion root, real dandelion, and chewing on the dandelion and the sunflower petals, not the seeds. Worst thing. The watermelon seeds ain't gonna be too bad. They can be a little astringent, cleansing the stomach, and what you call it, when you finally poop, you might have a real big poop and it'd be hurting. But yeah, cracky, so I'm gonna have to split this in half for these kids. That should have had them. The motherfucking parents be like, "You know that nigga ain't go to sleep. It's just a cookie." So I gotta read it. I gotta see what the thing says in it. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. It didn't even have a return. I got an ACOG. Where's the thing at? Is it? Oh my goodness, Red. Oh my goodness. So it says Onyx Products, 4x6 Zebra Ultron compatible shipping label. That's a shipping label. Is that in case we want to return it? No, I could have returned it, huh? I don't know what it comes with, y'all. It says Cracky's Cookies Street, Newton Beach, California. Shipped to James Branch. It doesn't say, it just, so somebody ordered it and sent it to me. Oreo cookie, 2 for $5. Each cookie's $5 fuck a piece, y'all. Peanut butter cookie, 2, and chocolate chip cookie, 2. That's $30. It's all right there, y'all. That nigga got a gimmick. So I know I had to be one of them ladies. All right, if for somebody don't hear, thank you. I think it was one of them ladies. I don't know. But from the rest, with the kids I've been teaching, you know, all the things that I've done. Some of the guys who ain't here, who I used to feed, who were always drunk in the park. I haven't seen them all this summer. I know that they were coming around picking them up to get the jab and all that kind of shit. The brother who was a teacher a long time ago, who was out there, he's dead. I used to love seeing him and pick him up a Subway sandwich, tuna, and pick him up like a couple of beers. He had a shake, so I knew that where to go. I hadn't seen him for like a month and a half, 2 months. That's when I found out my best friend had committed suicide, and then I went looking for him. One of my best friends, my homies, you know. I went looking for him, to find him, you know, because sometimes my boy would come and see him, you know what I'm saying? So they said, no, he's not around, because he used to live back down over here. Even though he was over there, looked like he was a bum teacher now. A lot of love, bad love decisions. And then I see his house is all boarded. It's not boarded up, but he's not there. So then when I found out from a lady, she said, yeah, he passed away. So, it's a brother, a good brother. And the Navajos love him. They speak the language perfect and everything like that. I just be like, you from here? He's like, oh, yeah, I know. I said, why you out here? He just looked at me like that, like, I need to ask that question. I said, say these. That's all I would say. You know what I'm saying? And I give him everybody, I gave a brown paper bag, 2 sandwiches, turkey, pastrami, cheese, ham for the ones that want a ham, bag of chips, usually, the sun chips, right? The grain. Not the best thing, but the sun chips. Yeah, those things. I get like 2 boxes of Walmart when I was going to Walmart, and I make sure that they had ice cold water, at least 1 or 2 bottles. So that was every day I went out doing that. People took notice. I didn't give a fuck. Why are you feeding them? Why are you not? I don't sit there and tell them. I just don't. All right, so let me get off of here, guys. So again, if one of y'all send it, or if the ladies watching, because they do come watch my lives, they use a hot one, use a firecracker. I'm like I'm not trying to bad. I'm just, I want to fuck people's heads up and also bring people over for the better. People need to come together and stop acting stupid. That's it. You know what I mean? I'm going to enjoy reading this. So appreciate y'all. It's always love. Appreciate the donations always. We're going to keep it going. Cure Meal, I'll go back out because if the book came in, they'll put it in one of the lockers. So I'll check at about 3:30. I'll make my way over. The whole shit is about 3:30 now, before 4 o'clock, and see if it's in there. If not, it'll be in here later this evening. But anyway, I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to old fogey like me read. Now, I'm not throwing no punches, no jabs. Nobody's taking them personal. Okay? All right, for real. I'm talking about the whole because there's other things going on, and I don't need y'all to deal with that. Some people sometimes just feel some kind of way, and I'm like, nigga, we 2 blocks away from each other. Let's walk and meet. Because I walk that way all the time. Sometimes you see the blind go like this. Hey, nigga, I'm outside. I'm dead ass serious. Anyway, let me get off of here. Too much information. TMI, right? So I appreciate you guys. All right.